Fantastic.
And now I have to worry about what Nicholas is going to have. Oh,
Yes, any question, please?
they want drinks.
But they have to pay for it. Okay, if someone asks a question, I pay the drink. Better.
So we have a winner. We have a winner. Yes. Barney, one of the things I didn't hear in DK's talk either is this idea that companies like John Deere have been doing AI and ML and data analysis for a long time to look at some of these things. And I wonder if there's been any, if there are barriers there, or there are other, collaborations going on that we just didn't hear about here.
I'm sorry, the first part of your question I didn't hear quite.
Okay. I was just wondering if there are any collaborations with companies like John Deere that have been doing this for a long time, or there are proprietary barriers there, perhaps, that make it impossible.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you. So this has been a deep concern in the ag community for a while, right? So if you sort of buy in to John Deere owns your data, right? They will know everything about your field, and this is sort of the back and forth about who owns that data. And so this, right now, John Deere has not been as excited as Caterpillar was, for example, for our mining, right? And that's been a conversation is, wouldn't we be a good proving ground for a John Deere or somebody like that in ag data? They tend to be focused right now in the Midwest, in the corn, and that's kind of where their top dollar seems to be. But I think there's also this concern, and these are small farms, right? There's 450 of them in the Yuma Valley alone. That's not a big area. I mean, it's big, but it's not that huge. And so these are a bunch of small places to go to rather than the mega farm in the Midwest in Iowa. So that's the other thing that kind of holds back that conversation. I think that's part of the YCETA piece as well, is that we can build that infrastructure in a public-private partnership, potentially bringing in companies, but in a way that the farmers, the growers themselves will get value out of that. That's, I think, to me, that's sort of the underlying issue in a lot of that.
May I add on the John Deere topic? I mean, Barney and DK have been organizing with me the agriculture and supercomputing sessions at SC. And people that comes there, suddenly there are farmers, yes, with a computer science degree, but because family land or whatever, so they tinker. So the first point with John Deere is that right to repair. That was the Biden administration, I don't know, executive order or something, right to repair, 2-3 years ago. But going back in time, Multicore World 2018, Mohammed S. El Zain, vice president of, can't remember which part of John Deere. So he was at Multicore World. I invited because I knew that these things will come from that way. Let's hear what he has to say. The argument was, okay, we have this, they consider a harvester as a sensor. And they present the equipment at CES in Las Vegas every year, every January. CES is the Computer Electronics Show, why would you show that sort of equipment? Well, because it's cool and it's an IoT device. So the argument of Mohammed 7 years ago now is that as a mechanical engineer, it's the same argument as an airplane. This thing needs to work everywhere. So for me to have my equipment manufactured in a way that is resilient and cost-effective, I need data from Arizona, from Brazil, from Afghanistan in order for this equipment, which sounds absolutely reasonable. And it's also a perfect excuse to own your data all the way. So I link those things. It's capitalism. It's not that it's good or bad. It is how it works. Until you have another option, right? And then you hear, before the war in Ukraine, there was a community in Ukraine who generated a collection of open source tools to break, not John Deere in particular, so on and so forth. Sorry, I hijacked your presentation.
I knew he would. I was kind of figuring that was going to happen at some point here. A little bit of passion on that.
Another question, please. I think that Robert was there.
Oh, all right. Yes. You missed one important C with Cochise.
Cochise County.
It's the great Indian leader who kept Europeans out of Arizona until he decided that it was better to make peace.
I got to go way back to get. I can show you what Cochise County is.
That other one, the yellow map, has it.
Huh?
Go to the yellow map.
Yeah. It's way back. It's like,
Sierra Vista.
yeah. Cochise County, right here.
That's right. So, okay.
I used to have to know all of them, right? Well, when I was there, it was only like 13. La Paz is new. La Paz was carved out of Yuma. That's a new county for me.
Well, when you go there, everything is named Cochise this or Cochise that. Sure.
Yeah, and the Badlands going through here, they're Badlands. You do not want to get stuck in the middle of that.
And the topic of John Deere, and I promise that I finish here. They presented a year ago or so an absolutely automated cotton harvester completely.
Yeah.
So maybe you saw that.
Yeah, let's see. So these are all fully autonomous, but they're individual devices, right? So they're not connected in any real-time fashion. In fact, I shouldn't say that. This one is connected real-time. They have an iPad that they can do, and that's part of this is right next to the experiment station, the cyber experiment station, so it's in that field. But the rest of these, they can be fully autonomous, but their links are not connecting back into the data sources. They're there from a GPS version of it. So you can watch what this one's doing, and they got some interesting things around that. I think that was the one. But yeah, they're starting, again, all of it right now is independent, individual, autonomous, but not connected to anything else in the real way. And so the vision is that they can create swarms of drones. They can do a whole bunch of other things for connectivity, and they can eliminate a lot of the labor costs that are coming in or not even coming across the border anymore as well. So there's a whole lot of those kinds of issues they want to protect themselves from.
Wonderful. Please join me saying thank you to Barney for the great presentation.